call you?
In here, while growing up, they used to call me Buckums, and I try to leave that name in the past, and now it's just Buck. It's more of a tribal name. My tribe, we're Yaqui, so we're the deer people.
What are you incarcerated for, and how long is your sentence?
I was arrested for murder, and after 11 years in the county, I was offered a deal, and I accepted 26 years, 8 months, and 1 strike for manslaughter, and with the forfeiture of my credit. So I'm redoing my whole time from 2018 to whenever, like 26 years all over again.
Where are you from out here on the streets?
From Modesto.
All right, Andrew, man, I'm going to go ahead and let you take over, sir, and I want to go ahead and thank you for opening up and sharing your story on this show. I know it's not an easy thing to do, but on my behalf, sir, I sincerely appreciate it, man. Thank you.
No, yes, sir, and just likewise, man, I thank you, too, for allowing me to tell my story, man, just for reaching out to me. And like I told you before, man, my family, they're, my sisters and everything, I'm real close with them, and, I'm the baby of the family, and they look at it as like they want to try to do something to help me, and they want to try to get me a lawyer and all this other stuff, because I already did, like, a good chunk of my time, but it doesn't count, and I don't want them being taken advantage of. And then it's like the day after I have that conversation with my sister, like, man, you just pop up on my tablet, man, so, like, man, I'm just gonna think it is, I'm on the right path in my rehabilitation, my recovery, man, and and God's helping me move mountains. And this isn't to like get me out or anything like that. It's just help me get through it and just hopefully shed some light on the loophole in the justice system, so this doesn't happen to anybody else, because I spent a third of my life in there and it doesn't count, I guess from like growing up, I was actually born out here. Like I was born out in Placerville and everything, and we lived in Pollock Pines, and after that, and like I grew up out there. My mom used to take us out to the Indian Center, and my grandma, she would try to give us little teachings, and at school we ran around wild. Like me and my brother, his name's AJ. He's just 16 months older than me, and we got to do what we wanted and everything pretty much. And a few years later, like probably like 6 years old or 7 years old or something, and we moved to Modesto. And when we first got there, I hated it. Sidewalks everywhere, concrete. We had to wear shoes, and like I was miserable, and but we found our footing and everything. It got good. It wasn't all the way bad, but we got closer with some of my other families that lived out over in Modesto, and with my grandpa. I didn't grow up with a dad or anything. It's just my mom, and she had her own demons that she fought and everything. I don't want to like talk down on her or anything, and I know she tried, and she did the best with what she could, and she tried to teach me and my brother how to be men, and she didn't always have the best examples of what a man should be, but she tried, she taught us how to like just hold our own, not to tell on each other, to fight, and to just be strong, and when my grandpa died, he died when like I was still pretty young, maybe like 9 or something, and it affected her real deeply, to where she fell back into drugs, and she started just getting messed up, where she stopped like really caring, and she just became secluded in her own world and her own hurt. And growing up, I didn't know I was poor, man. Like I remember we'd be excited, like when Nintendo 64s came out, and like we told my mom about it one time, like, hey man, we playing Nintendo 64, and so we're at, and we're like Kyle's house, and Kyle was our little white friend. White people got money, and so I thought you had to be white to have money, and then we moved to another part of the east side of Modesto, and the school's a little better, and I started noticing there's other kids like me, but they got better clothes, and like their houses are better, and it's just they actually got a car. We didn't have a car growing up or nothing, and like so I'm like, damn, what the hell is going on here, you know? And so that's really how I figured it out. And we used to shop for clothes at the flea market. I remember like in 5th grade, it was embarrassing. I was like, they were like real reality check. Like, damn, I'm poor, man. Was like my mom bought me some shoes, and show up first day of school, and this other kid, he has the same shoes, but his were Nikes, like it said Air Nike, and then I looked at my shoes said Bear Air, and I got clowned on and everything like that. That shit was kind of embarrassing, and like I don't know, I started like kind of realizing I got to try to do something, you know, and I started stealing, started like selling cigarettes at school, started selling condoms, whatever I could do, because I don't know if they still do it, but I remember back in the day, like, you could just go to a liquor store and just tell them for a B-bag, and they'll give you a bag full of. And so, like, you could do that in, like, certain hoods and everything, and so I would come up and I'll sell kids, I'll sell, like, kids condoms and shit, and try to come up with my own little money, try to buy my own shoes, and, like, my sisters, unfortunate for them, you know, they're older than me and everything, and they were blessed. Like, they knew their dads. They had some good dads that took care of them, and they did real well for themselves. And they would help us out and everything. But anytime they would try to keep us for too long, my mom, like, she would intervene and not let us go over there or nothing, and try to keep us there at her house. And to be honest, yeah, we wanted to stay with my mom because, like, she didn't give a fuck. She let us do what we wanted. So we got to run around all crazy. And as I got older, I started selling drugs more. And then started seeing some of the older homies, and those are the ones that were showing me love, you know. Like, you see the cops, you know, they talk about, like, oh, yeah, them dudes are bad dudes, they're gang members, whatever. But those are the dudes that are playing football with us, man. Those are the dudes that are, like, gaming me up, telling me how to talk to girls, teaching me how to dress, you know, giving me haircuts, and like showing interest in my life. And I looked up to them, and just little by little just got more and more involved. And like one of my boys too, man, like I remember we bought our first gun. We had a teacher, his name's Mr. B. He taught like the opportunity class, like the class. And he used to pick us up, and we'd go do his lawns, and he used to give us money to get in the movies. Well, me and this fool, we're saving up our money, and we're going, we bought a 20 gauge off one of our older homies. He's not even that old, though. We're maybe like 12. And the homie Juanito, he's maybe like 16, 17 or something. To us, he's the older homie, you know, he's been in and out of juvenile hall, he got tattoos already. We bought our first gun off of him. And we used to ride it over to the west side where they had all the south siders at, and we'll have a big ass poncho on, and we'll carry it under the poncho, and we'll go right over there and just do whatever, you know. Just and like thinking back at that shit, I'm like, damn, man, we're little kids. I don't know how like how we thought it was okay. And like, man, I don't know, man, just and that lifestyle, all that is encouraged, you know. And it felt good to be praised for that. It felt good to be praised for being down. It felt good to be praised for having heart. I don't know, man. I gravitated towards that lifestyle, and it was easy, you know. It was easy to fight, easy to not really care, and like I remember being young too, and like I said, I don't know, I was poor, and I remember my grandpa used to tell me like, hey, mijo, work hard, and it'll pay off in the future. And like getting a little older and become more aware of my surroundings, I really didn't, that statement didn't make sense, because I'm not gonna work hard for tomorrow when I'm hungry today, you know. And so I started just falling more into just criminal behavior, just selling drugs, to just robberies, just all types of stuff, you know. And yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't care and everything. And there are things that I seen my mom be abused. I seen like, you know, having to just go to school so you could eat, you know, and like that, you know, and so it was easy not to care and to try to just figure things out on my own. And when really I didn't. I don't know why I've always been like that, even to this day. Like, it drives my family nuts, but I don't like to ask them for things. And especially in this situation, you know, like, I've been busted for like 16 years now, and I look at it as, hey, I got myself in this mess, even though I really didn't understand the whole bigger picture at the time. I still got myself in this mess, you know, and I'm capable, you know, I got all my functions. I'm not the smartest guy, but I'm pretty sharp, you know, and I'm able to get by, and God's blessed me with a couple talents to where I can get by if I need to, you know. And even then too, when I should ask for help, but I didn't. And like going to group homes, everything I got pulled out of the home. Like my mom, she refused to pick me up one day from juvenile hall, and I was like, good man. Like, I remember calling, and I asked her to come get me, and she told me, "No, I'm not gonna get you." And I was just telling her, like, man, come on, please, like, just come get me. I won't even go home. And I was embarrassed too, man. The staff member, she was right there. Her name's Miss Calloway. And
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And she's just sitting there crying, and I'm just asking my mom, like, hey, come get me. I won't go home. And my mom said, nah. So my PO, Mike Soto, he had to come rebook me, and they made me award of the courts. And I started going to.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Yeah, like I said, I'm from Modesto. I'm from the east side. Grew up off of Lincoln and Penny Lane over there. Yeah, man. I mean, one of the main dudes. Like, I mean, like, I don't want to glorify all the bad stuff or stuff like that, but like I said, man, like, some of those older homies, those are the ones that actually like took the time out, you know, and they just invested their time into me, man. And one of the main ones, when I was a little kid, was my homie's uncle, Troy Archuleta. And we just call him Uncle Troy, but he was cool, man. Remember when I was little, and I've always been like smaller than all my friends, and man, but like we were playing football one day, I didn't get picked because I was too little. Troy, man, he goes, we don't let you play, man. I told him, man, like, no one. And so we went over, and this grown ass homie too, and he was already like in his like lower 20s, and he's playing with a bunch of like 10-year-olds with this fucking bulldozing them, and all the time who played hella rough with him. But yeah, but yeah, one of the main things with Troy though, man, was I was maybe about 9-10 years old. Me and my friend Richard, we were walking home from school, and we walked up to his mom crying, and we knew Uncle Troy was busted. He was in the county, and so she's crying and everything. So we kind of ran in the house, and we found out that the cops they killed Troy in the county. They just beat the brakes off of him, man, stomped him out. They killed him, and that was actually like the first funeral that I went to, and seen his body. Like they tried to do kind of like a closed casket thing when the kids walked up and everything, but we seen pictures of him, and he was bruised up. He didn't look the same, man. And that was one of the views that I got on cops right there. Was like, oh man, like, because they were always looking for him. They used to come to the park and ask us like, hey man, where's your uncle at? And we, oh, we ain't seen him. And then he'll come strolling up like an hour later. I'm trying like, hey man, the cops are looking for you. He's like, oh, okay. And he'll go. And so, I mean, like, well, most kids, they kind of look up to the cops. Like, we knew, like, oh yeah, no, they're like, those are the bad guys, you know. And another incident that kind of shaped it was we had some neighbors that lived around the corner with us, and we had a family living with us that were like, I guess like in-laws or whatever. My mom was supposed to marry married their uncle, so they were like cousins, but kind of like hood related or whatever. But my cousin, he beat up one of the neighbors. Big old scene happened. He left and everything, and then the dudes, they came back, and they ended up my mom was outside, and they jumped my mom right there. I was like maybe about like 11 to 12 or something, and they jumped my mom, man. They put hands on her, stomped her out like she was a man. And we lived in a duplex off of Lakewood and everything, and there's a little window by the side of the door. I tried to climb out, try to help my mom. I got punched and everything, and I was like, I tried to help, but I was too little. And my neighbors ended up calling the cops, the other neighbors next to us, and the cops came up, and I remember they like seen us and everything, and they said we deserved it. We were a gang family, that we had that coming pretty much, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, I mean, hey, they real talk, we were the victims, but we got treated like we weren't, you know, like we were guilty or something. And my mom wasn't like trying to tell them who it was who did it or anything, and she said she don't know. And so that like helped shape beliefs right there too. It's like yeah, still even when we're hurt, don't talk to the cops, man. And even if we do, it's like the cops ain't for us. And that set in like my form of delinquency, and that was why me and my friend Green Eyes, that was why we started saving up our lawnmower money, and we bought our own gun. And that's where I felt like, man, if only, because he was there that night too. He was there, and when them dudes were trying to get in the house. And
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
We were little kids trying to fight them off and everything, and they had little babies in the house, everything. My mom was just all the time, like my mom's getting just beat down, and she just telling us, "Hey, Mijo, don't let them in the house. Protect the kids. And you know, that's a big responsibility to put on some little boys when your balls are barely dropping. I mean, but I remember just that feeling of helplessness and just wanting the gun. And yeah, a couple months later, man, we bought one. It's too big for us to carry, but I mean, we did our best with it. And even though we bought it off of, man, I mentioned him, homie Juanito, like, man, that was a cool dude. He shaped a lot of beliefs too, man. He went to juvenile hall, like when we were young. He went to juvenile hall for selling hella guns, and he was always doing. He had girls, and I remember before he even bought a whip, man. After we bought a boat, and it's hella funny now, but to us, we thought we were doing it in that boat. We never went to the lake, never went nowhere with it. Just be right there in his driveway. And we just sitting in that boat drinking and chilling, and we idolized him. He went to the pen as soon as he turned 18, and he was landing on yards that were deemed by the homies. He kept getting off, and we were just hearing about it. And so I was trying to live up to them standards and everything, just put it on the streets. And I knew people that died, that got smoked or whatever, and it really wasn't a big impact because there was no one close. And then it finally hit home. It was one of my boys, Mikey Ariola. He got smoked right there in the deep, right there at the store. He hit some dudes up, and things just jumped off real quick, man. He got shot, and he ended up dying. And that kicked off a lot of stuff right there in 2004. And it was going both ways. That whole time, that summer, that was cracking. It happened April 16th. He's been like 19 years now since he...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Yeah, we're 15 years old when that happened. And I remember going to his viewing, and right there at the chapel, just going in there, it was weird. Like, it was like I think people we went to school with, some 20 in the years, went in there, just feeling of claustrophobia. Just everyone's crying. And like it seemed weird, like it didn't seem like it was real or anything. And little by little, I'm making my way to the back room, and it's like crowded back there, and his mom's just crying. And that was like the saddest noise I ever heard. And I get back there, and she's just over his body, just crying. And again, that feeling of helplessness, man. And it's like there's nothing you can do, you know. And that was when my friends, we went to Capistrano together. We kicked it. Like he was with the biz, but he still had a good heart, man. He was a good friend, man. There wasn't nothing he wouldn't do for you if he could help you. And he was like, he was young, but he was like ahead of his years. And I just know what he would have did for me if that was me lying in that box. And yeah, man, a lot of people they felt that same that same responsibility. And yeah, a lot of from that year. And like I said, it happened. It was going both ways, man. And I'm ashamed to admit it, man, but especially in that moment, at that time, like I didn't really understand the value of a human life. Even though you see what it does, but just being young, you can't really process is the momentum. So I get it with the youth offender bill, how they say we can't really process things, and because you might know right from wrong, but you can't really weigh it out. I don't know if we're the thing in our brains that trigger it, but it's true, man. We're dumbasses at that age, man, all the way up. And the only thing that made sense is, hey, man, now my boy's mom's crying, man. I want someone else's mom to cry. And it is shameful to admit that. And that was when it hit the home, man, for a lot of people. That changed a lot of things, made a lot of people grow up. And, you know, just fast forwarded like some years later, like this gang banging. I mean, I just never admit that I had like big homies. I just say I had an older homie. That was it. And as people were argumentative and stuff like that. And homies, they'd always tell me like, hey, bro, you ain't gonna last, man. Like, you think you know it all. Yeah, but like I didn't care, you know. And ended up hitting the county. I got off the hall. I remember like I mean, it's not much, but when you're a kid, it's a lot. I did 300 days in juvenile hall. I went past my 18th birthday. I thought I was going to go to YA. And my boy Hoser from my hood, he was game me up. We all thought I was going to go to YA, man. And I was living with this dude, too. I was on the run. He's on the run, too, for the case that he's in there now. They gave him like 57 years for some robberies. And, but, this dude, like, I was living with him, sleeping on his floor. He's wanted for all. I'm wanting for some shootings and just other allegations. And yeah, man, like that was my boy right there, man. A lot of people turn their back and they close the doors, like, they know the cops over there, they're looking for you. It's bad. Like, it got so bad with them cops. They were just busting homies, like, oh, here, you got a warrant, boom, here, hey, you can thank Bucklands for this. Or they're little homies taking their bikes, they're taking their dogs if they don't got papers, everything, and they're just trying to thank Bucklands for this. And it got to the point where, like, people didn't want me around. And I got in a high-speed chase that night, and I crashed into Dry Creek right there off of like Scenic and Alvista, and it's down the street from Hoser's house. And we can see him, like, when I came all the way around, my boy Steven De Leon, he brought me to Hoser's. And the cops, they got a block. They got the street blocked off. The ghetto birds going. There's lights, everything. We can see him, like, not even 100 yards away from his house. And there's people from other parts of the east side that they turned me away. And I was like only 17 and everything. And yeah, we see them lights going. And Steve told me that, look, they're looking for Buck, bro. You need somewhere to go. I was like, man, come on.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
I was like running around with him, and then that's how I ended up getting put on my hood, man. Just the validator right there. I got jumped right there in his mom's living room, and yeah, man, just it progressed. Yeah. So anyways, Yeah, man, Hoser, man, that was my dude right there, man. He was there for me when a lot of people weren't, and yeah, he's the one that was telling me about YA and like, hey man, look, as soon as you get busted, you go to juvenile hall, get your GED, and so that way, like, you don't got to sit in class, man. You can go to the gym, go kick with the homies, hit the weights, and do all that. So he is actually the reason why I got my GED, because as soon as I got busted with him, and yeah, man, and he was like, as soon as I got to juvenile hall, man, I got my GED, just busted it out, and you know, I was doing everything I could to prepare myself to go to YA, like in there fighting and stuff like that, or like trying to hold the respect level, and you know, it's a little max unit, you know what I mean, and so it's like, we thought we were politicking there, but we weren't, bro. Like, that's just funny looking back at it, man. But we thought we were doing something in there as kids. Our little workouts and all that, like trying to check paperwork. We didn't even know how to do that. And there was one homie that knew how, though. Like, he's the one that taught us, like, man, go get that from your lawyer. And like once we learned how to do that, it was on cause you know there ain't no PC in there. So you get exposed, all that, and like, you remember flighting foods getting sprayed up and all that. And so yeah, man, I got my GED in there, and I never got visits or nothing. You can only get them by your parent and your guardian. But since they knew I didn't get visits, like they approved my sister to come visit me, because like I said, I'm not trying to like talk down on my mom or nothing, but she used to have to walk past my unit to go see my brother, and there would be staff. They would tell me like, hey man, you have a good visit today? I was like, nah, I didn't get no visit. Like, what? They're like, I seen your mom, she went to see your brother. They're like, for real? They're like, yeah. And I was like, damn, man, they had that look of pity. Like, oh, she didn't see you? I'm like, nah, man, like, nah, like, you sure it was her? They're like, yeah. They're like, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, it's all good. So, yeah, like, they knew about it, so they approved my sister Jessica to come see me. And she actually went to my graduation in there. And, like, I mean, it wasn't nothing special, but it was cool. They gave me a little cap and gown. I just walked around the day room. I did a lap in the day room. And there was like a couple homies that was there, like they were in there for murders and stuff too. And like, yeah, like the homie Julie, he's just in there clapping hella loud, like just like, yeah, just like cheering for me. And like it felt good, you know what I mean? It was like one of the few achievements I had, and it felt good though, man. And I got to get, because it's in there, it's you get visits behind the glass, you don't get contact visits. And so, like, I actually got to sit down with my sister, give her a hug and everything. And that last time I did that, I did 300 days in juvenile hall. Got out thinking I was hella tight and everything. I was out for like maybe like 6 days, and I got busted. Went to the county for a GPA. And I remember even that time too, before I got out, when they offered me that deal, like I told them, I told my PO, man, I was like, hey, I'm not ready to get out. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, yeah, I'm not ready to get out, man. Like, I need to sit in here longer. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, man, I didn't learn my lesson. This whole time I've been preparing to get sent up, and you guys just giving me a slap on the hand now, man. 300 days in here, that's nothing. And he's like, well, look, that's your release date. You gotta go, man. We can't hold you no longer. And it's weird, like asking for that help to stay in there, because I knew.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And but that's what junior college, they had actually did like a contest or whatever. They came to juvenile hall, and they did like this thing where it was they gave us like some tests, and whoever scored the highest, they would pay for your little college tuition, all that, you know, and get you in the and you can enroll into MJC. Well, I ended up winning that contest, and they came and they told me about it, like, hey, so what's gonna go on, when you gonna get out? And at that point, I thought I was going to YA, so I told them, like, hey, yeah, it's all bad. I'm probably gonna get sent up. And they're like, oh, well, look, there's a cap on this. We got to get it for this next semester going up. I was, well, who's the one that got second place? And they're like, oh, some girl did. I was, well, just give it to her, you know. And they're, you sure? Yeah, it's all good. So, like, I don't know who she was or what happened with her or anything, but I hope she was able to go, you know, since I wasn't. And so it was like little things like that I passed up on. And yeah, I got out, man. I was out for like a week, and we were drinking because like we pride ourselves because EJ is made right there in our hood and everything. The Gallo Winery is right there in the east side. And I mean, well, it's more like the airport, but still, though. I mean, the east side. So, yeah, like the American jerk, the east side juice, that's ours, you know. It's made right there. And so, like I said, I got out Juvenile Hall thinking I was hella tight. Had little muscles now, you know what I mean, and do my little 300 days. And me and my homies were out there chilling and drinking, and they're like, "What's up, Buck?" Like, "Hey, teach us how to steal a car." Like, I never liked to take my homies nowhere or teach them nothing. And so I kept telling them, like, "All right, man, look, man, get a screwdriver, man, get a flat tip, and I'll teach you guys." And so, and I know none of these fools, they can't go home. Their mamas would be tripping on them and everything. And lo and behold, though, man, the little homie Pinta, he comes walking down the street, and I know he's up to no good. It's probably like 2 in the morning or something. I'm like, damn, man, I know this dude got the screwdriver, man. So they see him, they're like, "Hey, Pinta, like we used to clown him, like Pinta became, it was like a little name we clowned on him about, because he acted like he was hella hard and stuff. So, but anyways, he comes walking up, and "Hey, man, you got a screwdriver?" He pulls out his pocket. So I was like, damn. All right, man. So we go, we start looking around, and I seen this caddy. He was on rims. It was on some Danes. It was 85 DeVille. It was all black. I thought, well, we might as well get something out of this, you know, I'm going to teach you guys. So, like, we stole, I put it back, man, pulled back the steering column, put out the little 8-ball out of there, ripped out the spring, and we're going, and we're all drunk, talking about we're going to the Bay. Like, we never go to the Bay Area. We always say that when we're drunk, we're going to go to the Bay, but we didn't even make it. We made it to, like, the next town over, tried to go to some girl's house. One of the rims, the front rim, flew off the car, so we got stranded, and it was like all bad. Like, everything that could go bad, it was like going bad that night. And so we're looking for another car to steal. We found one. Some dude was being a good Samaritan. He seen the rim fall off, so he called the cops. He's following us. The homies, they go on high speed in one car. We go on high speed in another. We get caught, and then that's when I ended up going to the county. And so I'm in there, and the cops, they're talking. They're talking a bunch of trash to me, and talking about I'm gonna get raped and all that stuff and whatever. And I was just like, all right, well, whatever, man. Just like, I ain't tripping. I ain't got nothing to say to you guys. I just ask where the car came from, who stole it, all that. Man, I ain't got nothing to say, man. Just like that. And like my dumb ass, I admitted my affiliation. Told me, "Yeah, well, yeah, I'm in no thing," you know what I mean? And so they're like, all right, so I get booked in the county. I went to T quarters to GP, and there's only a couple homies in there, and I was out there and met them dudes, and I remember the homie right there, homie Cowboy, like he was hella cool, and like he gave me his last soap bar and everything, and like and it don't seem like a lot, but in there it's a lot, man, where you be hungry just wishing you had a soup and everything, and this fool gave me a soap bar, and we're right there at the bars, we're talking. And I'm breaking the soup on the bars, and he's like, "Hey, careful, little homie, you're gonna bust it." And I'm like, "Well, man, I've been cracking soup since I was 2, you know what I mean? Over here bragging, and next thing you know, that shit says boom, the whole soap bar flies out on the tier. And this dude's like, "Damn, man, you killing me, Smalls." I was like, "Man, homie, we're hella hungry too." And so I got my list. So he had to split like his soap bar, and so we ate it. The next morning, they tell me I'm rolling up, and I go to Z quarters, and that's where they have all the homies at. It's like, it's only homies all on parole and everything. And so, I was the youngest one to hit the tier. They shouldn't have put me over there. But, they did. They put me over there on the tier with the homies, and, I remember I was too little. I couldn't even carry my mattress. And and you know, you get your mattress, you roll it up, and you carry it on your shoulder, but I couldn't carry it. I was dragging it on the tier, and I'm sitting there dragging it, and then someone reaches through the bars and grabs me, and it's the homie Steven De Leon. He's like, "Damn, what's up, little homie?" I text him in the hall. I was like, "Man, I just got out." He's like, "When?" I was like, "Man, like on Wednesday." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Bro, that was like 5 days ago, 6 days ago." I was like, "Yeah," and it's a trip too, cause I had seen Hoser the night before I got busted. I went to go visit that dude, and I met his girl down there in the county. A lot of dudes say, "Oh, y'all visit, y'all do this, I'll do that," and Like, man, I came through on it, came down there and I visited him, and that night I got busted, and I ended up on the field with him. He was in the front bars, I was in the back, and he had a situation going on to where he wasn't pushing with the homies, and I remember we made it out to 1 yard when I was in GP, and I made it to that 1 yard, and he's on the other side with like other homies that like they're not in good standings at the time. I mean, and so I look, I said, "What's up?" And he's like, "Damn, I just seen you." So I go to the fence, and he's on the handball side. I'm on the big side, and so I started hollering at him, and the homies pulled me over. They're like, "Hey, bro, like you can't holler at him." I was like, "Why?" And they're like, "Oh, he's all bad." I was like, "Who?" And they're like, "Oh, well, the homies." And I was like, man, man, F the homies, you know. I was like, bro, that's my boy right there. They're like, nah, bro, them dudes are all bad. They're all big. Bro, heck, you tripping? Bro, I know that dude. That he ain't tripping on me. That's the homie right there. And they're like, look, man, you can't talk to him. So I was like, man, whatever. And I look and I see the gate to the bathroom is open. So I go in there, and I just hear this dude. He's like, man, what's up, little homie? I was like, man, what's up, bro? He said, what happened? They tripping? I said, yeah, who said I can't talk to you? And I was like, what'd you do? He's like, nothing, man. I'll clean it up when I get to the pen. He's like, it's different, bro. There's politics now. It's real politics. And I was like, what else, man? What's up, bro? You want me to come kick it with you? And he's like, nah, man, just do your thing. Just kick it. It's nothing. Don't trip. I was like, all right, man. And so he was trying to be like. I mean, that is my big homie right there. I'll acknowledge that now. But he was like trying to teach me how to be like the little homie. Like, hey, man, you gotta listen and can't be acting all wild. Can't be fighting homies and just listen, bro. He's like, it's easy, bro. It's easy. Just listen to them dudes. And I'm like, all right. But in my head, I was like, man, I don't even listen to my own mama, man. I gotta listen to this dude. Like what the hell? So, like, all right, well, they put me over there in C quarters. And then, like, I ain't gonna lie, that was like a celebration right there. Like, a bunch of older homies that I knew. Them dudes, like, they were over there like, oh, yeah, what's up, bro? You finally made it. And whoop, whoop. Like, homies busted a spread. Like, my neighbors, they were in Z4. I went to Z5. And the neighbors in Z5 and Z4, they busted out with some Pruno. But I was say, I bet you don't even know what this is. I was like, well, hell yeah, man, I drink that on the streets. They're like, hell no. I was like, for real, man. And it's like the homie's dad, he got out the pen. That's when I first got like tattooed. But he got out the pen, and that fool hella institutionalized. That fool made Pruno on the streets. He had to go in a 5-gallon bucket inside the closet, and got on my arm. I didn't even want that stuff, man. Like, I wanted some other stuff. I wanted like some Native American stuff. He put some crazy, like, revolutionary, like, Mexican stuff on me, but, like, hey, it was $20. I was like, here, man, and, like, same way, like, if you ever been busted and you drink in the cell, like, you know what I'm talking about, man, like, when you're in your own world in the cell, nothing's going on out there, but you're in the cell with your cellie, you got music going, you're yelling, and just like you guys just right next to each other. But yeah, that's how we were. But it was me, the homie's dad, my homie Javi.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And then my little homie who's like 12, right? And we're just all in there like yelling at each other, patterns all over the bed. Bully, he put a red rag on the light. Like, I don't know what he was doing, but he put a red rag on the lamp, like it's setting the mood or something. I don't know, but
you have 60 seconds remaining.
Well, yeah, man, that's the first time I got drunk off that stuff. Ended up with a bunch of tattoos I didn't want. And that was my first time drinking in jail, right? Was when the homies busted that out, and then but it was cool. I mean, like I said, they shouldn't have put me in there, bro. I was and that was just for saying that I was a homie. And so they classified me. They put me in there with a bunch of parolees, and I was the youngest one on the tier. Like, I was 18 years old. The next youngest one was the homie Speedy, and he was like 26. And it's six man tanks. It's 9 cells, and it's shower, the table, the 3 bunks, and a phone in there. Like, the toilet area is like, it's cool, you know what I mean? And like, just going from juvenile hall to that, I was like, man, this place is cool, you know? And then like, the homie Sharky was right there, and he pulled out his banger, and he's like showing it to me and everything. And I was like, damn, you guys get knives in here? And he's like, hell yeah, we make them. And I was like, man, I want to learn. he's like, all right, he's like, yeah, man, like when we're sober, man, so man, I'll teach you how to make one. I was like, all right, cool, man. And so I'm like, all right. And now mind you, I've been in there like about like 4 days now, right? And so I was like, hey man, I'm gonna call my sister, man. I'm gonna see what's up, right? See what she's doing. So they're like, all right, they're like, hey, call the bail bonds and just tell them you want to bail out, and they'll do a 3-way. So I call AJ's bail bonds, and this dude Miles gets on, right, and whatever, he calls my sister for me, and so we're talking, and she's like, what's up, bro? So you all right? You good? And it's my sister Jessica. I'm living with her and everything. I was like, yeah, I'm all right. She's like, all right, so you good? You need me to go get you anything? And I was like, no, I'm right here kicking it. And she's like, where are you at? I was like, oh, I'm in county. She's like, jail? I was like, yeah, I'm in county jail. And she's like, no, wait, what do you mean you're in county? I was like, yeah, I'm right here I'm downtown. And she's like, when did you get arrested? I was like 4 days ago. And she's like, no, bro. She's like, what do you mean? And I was like, yeah, I'm in county. She's like, oh, she's like, I gotta get you out. I was like, no, it's all right. Like, don't get me, don't bail me out. I was like, I'm good. I'm right here kicking it. And she's like, what do you mean you're kicking? I was like, it's cool, man. Like, I know a bunch of dudes in here. Like, we're out here chilling. Like, it's good, right? And she's like, hell no, it's not good. And that's when that dude Miles interjected. He's like, hold on, man. Yeah, he's like, this ain't good out here, man. All right, look. At that time, for a GTA, it was $10,000, so it's only $1,000 to get out. And I mean, they upped it now because it was so easy to steal a car and you just get right back out and everything. But so yeah, it was easy. So he's like, look, man, just come sign the paperwork, put $200 down, and I'll get your little brother out, man. He's like, we can't leave him in there like that. And so whatever, she bailed me out. Like, why? Even at first too, I was like, I was trying to tell her, nah, it's cool. And she's like, nah, I'm gonna get you. She's like, I'm getting you out today. So I was like, damn, all right. And I hung up the phone, and I remember I went and sat on Sharky's bed, and I'm just like sitting right there, and my head's all down. And he's like, damn, what's wrong, fool? You got bad news? I was like, yeah. He's like, what happened, fool? And I was like, man, my sister's gonna bail me out. And then fools started laughing, right? They're like, what you mean? Like, whoa, that's good news. I was like, nah, man. I was like, so bad, man. And he's like, nah, man, get your little ass out of here, bro. Like, nah, man, it's bad. So, bro, go home, man. What's wrong with you? And then I was like, all right, whatever. And so, like, and I got out all drunk. I ended up bailing out all drunk. And yeah, I was at my sister's and everything, and helping her out with my nephews, and just babysitting, little things like that. And still running around in my neighborhood. And I would go back and I would like just go back and forth. It was almost like a double life to when my sister, she lived in like some nice homes, but right there, like my little pocket of the east side is ghetto. I mean, it's nice. We got sidewalks and stuff. Like other hoods count on us, like, 'cause I mean, we could wear white shoes and don't have to walk in the middle of the street. We ain't got to worry about getting our shoes dirty. You know what I mean? But it's cool. You know what I mean? I like my sidewalks and all that, man. And like the homies from there, they don't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, bro, like I fought that little case, and I ended up getting they gave me, it was like 6 months or something like that, and I was only supposed to do 60 days. So I turned myself in, and I went right back to Z quarters. Went in there, there's a homie from my hood right there, and hey, he got put on the hood the same night as I did, and he got put on before me. He was actually supposed to come back. It's a homie Tiny. He's supposed to come back, and because like my hood, the way we do it is like you catch a one-on-one, and like right there as you're in that one-on-one, that you know you're gonna get side busted, and then with no mercy, man, we just max you out like you're an enemy and everything, and so yeah, I mean, me and him were supposed to get the heads up, and I remember too when I was at Hosers and hey, bro, we just put Tiny on, and Tiny's on wide parole and all that stuff, but I went back there in the backyard and it looked like crime scene back there, man, like. His shirt's all ripped, his blood back there and everything, and they're like, hey, he's gonna come back, where's he gonna put you on? So I'm like, all right, cool, man. Got in my head like all right, yeah, cool, man. This dude's already wounded, you know what I mean? I got him. I just gotta watch out for Hosers, you know what I mean? Hosers like kind of healthy and everything, and the homie that ended up putting me on, like, I don't want to say his name, but yeah, he was a big homie and everything, and yeah, that dude beat the hell out of me, man. Like, hey, I hope he didn't even get a chance to get in, man. He beat the hell. It felt like I got jumped, man. And well, anyways, yeah, I turned myself back in, man. I'm in the cell with Tiny, and like, he has his little household position at the time. He's a teacher, and so his thing's just to pretty much just teach all the rules and regulations, the history, just everything that pertains to educational, and everything with the movement. Like, that's his responsibility. So it's cool. He's giving me my little game, telling me all that stuff, but at the same time, he's a YA baby. He's like, look, bro, all this stuff looks good on paper, bro. Don't let it go to your head, man. Just memorize these right here, and you're good. You can't go wrong, bro. But the rest of this stuff is trivial, bro. It's good.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
So I'm like, all right, I'm right there chilling, and some other homies right there, they took a liking to me. They started teaching me about, like, certain household positions, stuff like that. And at that time, there was a lot of crazy stuff going on in Z quarters. Like, there was someone ranting up there or something, because they kept snatching up all the AIC members, and like our whole thoughts that they would get snatched up, and they'll get sent out to either BMAX, or they'll get put to a secluded part of the jail and everything. And so the homie that was right there, he's like, look, bro, like, I'm gonna start teaching you, bro, because, like, you got a good head on you, so I'm gonna start teaching you. So if the next time we get wiped out, bro, here you're gonna take over, and you gotta holler at this homie over here. He's over here in PS and everything. So I was like, oh, all right. I was like, where you guys going? And he's like, come on, bro. He's like, what you mean, where you going, man? He's like, what you mean, where we going, man? Go on, you can't tell. I was like, man, nah, you guys be all right, man. Just be cool. And I remember being right there too, like the Modesto County Jail, the downtown. It's like that, like we got it's the tier, but then right outside the tier, it's like a little wall. It's like maybe like 3 feet away. It's a little wall, and then halfway up the wall, it's windows, and it's all glass. And we're on like the third floor of the third floor of the jail. And I remember the first time I heard a security code, and now we did it in Nawa. It was just we called it out, and so the whole tier goes quiet. TV's on mute. Nobody's talking. The homie looks at me. He's like, here. He's like, hold on, fool. He's like, let the canine walk. So I'm right there, like, whatever. All right, man, just listening. He's like, dead quiet. And then, like, a few minutes go by, and one of the homies was like, he's like, hey, like, and they pretty much are asking, like, hey, where's the cop at, you know? But he's like, hey, how's the weather? And I just hear a voice in the front bars. He's like, oh, it's cloudy, sir. And I'm looking out the window, right, and bright sunny day and everything, blue sky. I'm like, what the hell, looks pretty sunny to me, right? And the whole tier starts busting and laughing and everything. And I was like, bro, get off the bars, bro. What's wrong with you? Go to back in the cell. I mean, and it's like, it was that little thing. Like I said, I shouldn't have been up there, man. But they did. They worked with me a lot, man. And I'm really like, they ended up taking the brass right there. But there was another homie that did have status. He ended up taking over right there, and I just ran my little cell, a little 6-man cell, and it was cool because right there, I just ran the hell of a while. Like, we'd be back there fighting and everything, and like I said, it'd be HTF looking, and them homies would try to holler at us. I'm like, hey, bro, like, they'll send me a wheeler, like, hey, man, who's in your cell fighting right now? And so I'll holler back, and I'll be like, oh, hey, no, we're not fighting, we're in here sparring, you know what I mean? We're getting ready for war. And they used to get mad at me, but it's like, hey, it's our word versus theirs, you know. So this time out, we're sparring. I used to let homies slide and everything. And but one day duty calls, we end up having to do a removal and everything. And I'm right there getting tattered too. I'm sitting on the bed, and the homie he's tattooing on me and everything. We're doing it all thick with the staple. And one of the homies, I don't want to say his name and everything, but he called me to the bars, and well, first he calls the homie from the deep, calls him over, actually them talking, and I'm watching him, and I'm asking him handling something, and I just hear him. He's like, hey man, where's Lil Buckham's at? He's like, oh, he's right here. He's like, hey man, come here. So I get off the bed and I go over there. I'm like, what's up, fool? He's like, hey, bro, look, man, your NA right there, he got to go. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah. He's like, man, he got to go. You got to get rid of him right now. I was like, hey, homie, I'm in the middle of the tattoo. And he's like, hey, bro, I say, man. He's like, he got to go. So I was like, all right, man, all right. He's like, yeah, I hear you. I was like, all right, man, all right, yeah. And then he's like, here, bro, and he hands me a tomahawk and everything, so I get it. I was like, all right, man. So I go to the back, I go right there, try to pay it off, and like the homie, he knows too. It was like the homie from San Jose and everything, and like he sensed now, cause you know when it's not right, you know when something's wrong, or even if you don't have skeletons or anything. I mean, you might have did something wrong, like just bone someone's girl or didn't fulfill your promise or something. There's it could be anything for something major, some minute, but whatever he knew he did something. I mean, he felt it. You feel that electricity and everything. He jumped up on his bed and he just chilled right there. And I went and hollered at the homie, and the homie that was tattooing on me, and he's older too, and he's like, there's a grown ass man. He's like 46, 47, hella bigger than me. And I'm like I said, I'm 18 years old. I'm like, hey, look, Paul, like, hey, we got directors right now. I said, man, the new guy got to go. And he's like, yeah, like, we got to get him right now. And he's like, all right. He's like, hey, yeah, don't check on the Lito. He's like, got you. Like, all right, man. I was, hold on, let me let everybody else know. And I was just played off like real slow. And just just let me let everybody know. And then we'll tell him, and we let him know. And he's like, all right. So I ended up letting so 3 of us know now. I got to let 2 more know. I ended up pulling them to the side here and there. Like, one homie's at the bars watching TV. I asked him to see the remote. He's like, all right, and I get it. And I tell him, I was, hey, well, the new guy got to go. And he's like, all right. He's like, yeah, just kick it off, little homie. So I'm all right. So everybody's arrested. And I'm already knowing, like, we're trapped in the cell. It's 5 of us, 1 of his, 2 of us are strapped. And it's, really, I mean, I understand the purpose of removals, but there's not really a whole lot of honor in a man, because you're snaking an unarmed man, and right there, like,
you have 60 seconds remaining.
Like, I ain't have no problem doing it, but and I got in trouble for it too, but I gave him the heads up. I was like, look, homie, I don't know what you did, but like I said, you got to go, bro, so just get ready.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
He kind of clenched up, and then that's when the homie Speedy just snatched him. He's like, hey, homie, you got to go, bro, and he grabbed him, and then yeah, well, I'll call you back. He's gonna hang up, bro. When we got the call, whatever, the directive to get rid of the dude, like I said, I got in trouble because it's a no-no to expose your hand. I mean, like, you got to just jump on the dude. While I gave him the heads up and let him know, and I get it. I mean, he see the look. He didn't want it to be real. He wanted to be true, whatever. But whatever, he sensed it, and then the homie just went to go grab him off the rack, snatched him up. So I'm like, bro, you got to go, man. And he went to go pull him. And even when all that stuff's going down too, you start hearing it. All the homies, they turn their TVs up. I mean, they turn the TVs up real loud, so the canines can't hear nothing. And so we're getting on them. Everyone participates. I'm right there. I'm strapped. I'm using my weapon on them. The other homie, he's using his. And this dude, he's screaming and everything. And it's like the cell is kind of big, and it's a 6-man tank. So he kind of tries to run to the back. And it's like he's like trying to go under the beds, and while I'm trying to get him, like I'm trying to pull him out from under the bed, I can't get him. He like when I grab his, because I put my thing kind of to the side, and I go to grab him. Well, he reaches and like he ended up scratching my hand, and the other homie, he's right there just like whacking at his fingers trying to get him to let go of the bunk, and it goes all bad, right? We ended up making a mess in there and everything, and he got knocked unconscious and everything, so we passed the word down, like, to, hey, let him know, man, down, come get him, and so they come in with medical staff, and they lay us all down, make us prone out, make us crawl backwards. We're crawling through his blood and everything, and we get all of us, we get separated, and they take him out, whatever, and they come read us our charges, and we plead the fifth and everything. And so after about a few hours, we go back to the cell, and the cops are like trying to like intimidate you. They're like, oh yeah, hey, your homie's already told on you. They already told us what happened. You're going to the hole, all this, you know. And it's just like, all right, man, well, you got the case all day, man. I mean, there's no use talking to me then, you know. And they're still running them outside. Well, after a few hours, we go back to the cell, and then we're in there. The homies ask, like, hey, man, anybody say anything? And like, nah, I didn't say nothing. They're like, hey, Buck, what'd you say? You know, they figure, because I'm a little kid, you know, like I said, I just came from Juvenile hall. I pled the fifth. They're like, all right. And next we know, like the next day, boom, we get called into court, our whole tank. They hit us with charges. We go to court, and we get arraigned on it and all that stuff, and then get our little attorneys. And I'm only supposed to be doing in like 60 days, not even that. And I mean, I'm supposed to be, like they said I was going to end up doing like the most 60 days, but I'd probably get out in 30. And so now we turn that into this, where I'm fighting my case now. And I'm one of the first ones to get my discovery, bring it back. And the homies are like, damn, bro, like when I bring it back to them, which I remember too, like that was a powerful moment too. It's like, they were like, damn, bro, like, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I thought you were gonna say something. I was like, what the, for real? They're like, yeah, bro, you're a little kid, man. I mean, you're 18, you just came from Juvenile hall. I mean, like, you know, hey, you got your little girl.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And so I was like, nah, hell no, man. I mean, like, I'm not a rat or nothing. Like, it's all good. So they would keep our mouth shut, and like one by one, like homies are getting their cases dropped, and then it's just me and the homie from the deep were the last ones there fighting it. And then we go to court one day, and they throw like my attorney pulls me to the side, and he's like, hey, look, man, they got a deal. I was like, what is it? He's like, all right, look, man, they're gonna drop the case on this guy, and because I don't want to say his name now, but they're like, because he's like one of the major participants, but they're like, we're gonna drop the case on him, but you got to take the rap for it. I was like, all right, and then what are they going to do with this other case? He's like, man, they're going to give him time serving and let him go home because he's there for a robbery. Like, they're like, man, they're going to drop it down the ground theft on the person and just kick him out. I was like, he'll go home today? I was like, yeah. You know, they told me, yeah. I was like, all right, well, what am I going to get? They're like, man, we're just going to tack on a county bullet on you, you know what I mean? And I was like, that's it? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, yeah, run it. So I took I ended up getting it. It dropped from like it was an attempted murder, and then it went down to a GBI. And so, I mean, it's a win either way, but I didn't take it because I was gonna go, but I was just like, hey, man, like, my homie's gonna go home today. They're like, yeah, he's going home tonight, man, if you take it. So I was like, yeah, go ahead, shoot it, man. So I went there, took the deal, played out and everything, and then, like, I got upstairs, and then the homie, he was, the homie from the deep, he was already up there, he's in the tank. And so I come up on the tier, and then, like, all the homies that are in their bars, all right there, like, hey, bro, like, hey, $10, man, that's right, little homie, like, the word already spread, I mean, they had already told the homie from the deep, like, hey, man, your little homie's gonna take the rap, so you can go home. And so I got in there, that was like, hey, Canalito, like, man, hey, I don't care, bro, you're my boy, man, like, so be looking out, bro, you get me home, because he was like a 2-striker and everything, and so, like, yeah, like, Apple gave me a hug, and it felt good, you know. And that's one of my character defects too. Is I do overextend myself to my friends. I mean, to the point so I do put them before myself. And looking back, I see how I was used a lot because of that. And that's from everything from childhood. Like, if I see one of my friends was scared to fight, nah, man, I'll fight him. You know, the kid's bigger than me, whatever. Like, man, here, I'll fight him, man. You know what I mean? And as even to the point of where I caught this current case, man. You know, so before I get into that, though, I mean, I got out. I ended up getting out. My girl left me and everything, like, because they're not supposed to tell her, but they told her, oh yeah, hey, him and his gang buddies, they jumped some dude and they were hurting him and all this stuff. They told her, so she left me and everything, but mean, it is what it was. I mean, it sucked because she was like my best friend at the time. We were hella close, but I mean, hey, it was part of the lifestyle, I guess. I mean, it's easy to chalk it up to it. And so, I got out, went to rekindle that, but she wasn't having it, man. She was like, nah. It's like, I'm cool. I don't want to be a part of that stuff, anything you're doing. So, whenever I got out, I started running around again. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was trying to work, man. I tried to go back to, I tried to get, for that little scholarship thing with MJC, I tried to get involved with that. And, like, even though, like, I passed up that little contest I won, I was trying to get involved with that. And, one of the main ladies there, she's like, look, man, kind of like, so I'm not trying to judge you, but I can kind of tell things that you're doing. She's like, it's not going to work with what you're trying to do with school. And I mean, like, so you got to decide what you're going to do. And so we can't like waste this opportunity on someone that's not going to take full advantage of it. And so I was like, all right, well, it's all good. And I just kind of left it at that. And I went and put in a couple applications. I tried to get a job, and I couldn't get hired or nothing. And so I was like, all right, forget it then. I started just little by little stop trying to go get a job, start hanging out more. I moved over to the west side over there off of Taunton, Colorado. It's West Side Boys neighborhood right there, and my cousin and all my homies are from right there. And even though I'm from the other side of town, I got embraced and everything right there.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And then I started slanging, started killing more, started carrying weapons again. And then my homie, he owned the store right there. And we started doing our thing together where I was slanging for him. Like that's back when like an ounce of crystal, it went for like $1,400, and if you got it for like $900, that was like a plug, and that's what we were getting for $900, and that was coming straight from the mix from one of the other homies that was right there. He had like some janky like refrigerator appliance business and stuff where he used to bring all that up. And so yeah, we had stuff that wasn't even stepped on or nothing. It was straight. It was good and everything. So we're making money right there. And then like that dude, I really looked up to him, man. The homie that owned the store, he like gained me up and everything. He taught me a little bit more style. Same thing. I got busted a couple times. Got caught with a banger. Got caught with some bullets. A high-speed chase. Running from the cops too. Like me and the homie, we were with some girls and we're driving, and he had like a bootsy little Jeep where if he let go of the steering wheel, it would just start spinning. And he did it one time. We were drunk with them chicks, and he let go of the steering wheel, and we went into the other traffic, and the car that were coming heads on, it ended up being a cop. So he blurred us, and the homie tried to hit a corner, and he crashed into a wall right there in the deep. I jumped out. I got caught like running right off of Carpenter into Robertson Road, and I got booked right there by a gang of cops. They took me in, and so it was just time after time. I keep getting busted, and I keep bailing out. And that's another thing with my sister Jessica, man. She signed her house. She signed her house on a few times for me and everything just to get me out. And the homie was putting up the money. The homie down in the store, he'd put up the money just for my down payment, and my sister would sign, and I would get out and everything. Every time when I was just trying to kick it, like I was like, nah, I'm doing too much. And I told that fool like, hey, nah, I'm cool. I'm just gonna chill right here. And he's like, all right. So he ended up, but he just called my sister and just they'd work something out, and he'd bail me out and everything. And so yeah, it was like I did kind of feel like I owed a lot to him. I mean, he put me on. Well, I was making my own money, and he helped me buy my first whip right there, and I bought a '85 DeVille. Probably sounds really old now, but then it was cool, you know what I mean? And I ain't never had a license or nothing, but like it was cool, you know what I mean? I was like, I felt like I was doing something. And well, one night we get approached to do something, to go like I got asked just to make sure nothing happened to these dudes, right? And I wasn't really feeling it. I was like, look, man, all this stuff that you guys are trying to do, like I don't know, bro. I just got a bad feeling about it. And especially when you're young and everything like that, it's crazy how much like peer pressure and judgment is it plays a role in your life. Like something that really clicked into me like was when I was in the county. I did a salary selection and everything, and they take all your stuff, but the one thing they can't take is a Bible. And so like, and they knew I wasn't like all into it, but I needed something to read, so hey man, I'm gonna get a Bible. The cops gave me a Bible, and that thing I opened up on that really gave me insight. It says don't fear what man can do to you, but fear the Lord your God. And even at that point in time, I didn't fear like physical harm, but I feared like their judgment. I mean, just for anybody to say like that I was a pussy or anything like that. I mean, so when I ended up going that night, man, I was right there at my house. There was this chick.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Like, I've been trying to hit for months, and she finally let me get it. And right there in the middle of it, man, I got that phone call from the homie, and he just asked me to take a ride. So I pulled out, and I went on that ride. And well, I thought to hang up, so I'll give you a call back on that, all right? I'm not sure who's going to hear all this, right? But yeah, like first, before I really get into this, man, to like my victim's family, man, you know, again, man, I want to apologize to you guys for the day you guys ever seen me, man. And really from the bottom of my heart, man, I'm sorry for what I did to you guys and your family, man. And I'm not trying to bring praise to this or nothing. I'm ashamed of what I did and how I hurt you guys, man, and everything that it affected. And you know, something that you had told me in the victim's impact statement on that the last time I seen you guys, man, was you donating Eric's organs and the lives that he changed and lives that he saved. You know, certain organs went to 5 different people, and now he saved their lives. And I know it's not even trade, and I know it's really nothing that brings a lot of consolation, but you know, he saved my life too. And you guys and him, he's the reason why I do take my recovery and my rehabilitation from criminal behavior. I take it serious and with the utmost respect, just so that he didn't die in vain. Because even though like my young mind at the time couldn't process the magnitude of my actions, I still knew better. I had that gut feeling, and I should have listened to it rather than being scared of what my friends were going to think of me. And to you guys, I apologize from the bottom of my heart. And so anyways, yeah, man, I was asked to go, and went against my better judgment, man. Went in the car, we went, and we're sitting out there, we're waiting, and you know, these dudes, they wanted to come up on his whip and everything, and like the whole time I'm like talking like man, like it's a bum mission, man, you know. And I was, man, this is it. Like after waiting for a little bit, I was, man, this is bounce. And it's me, my cousin. We're just, like I said, my mom was supposed to marry his uncle, and I met him when we were kids. Like, hey, this your cousin. And so me and him, we've been rocking together for like 10 years. And I wasn't even the one that was supposed to get out the car, but it's me and him. One of my other good friends, he's driving, and then my cousin's friend, he's the one that set all this stuff up and everything, while him and my cousin, they set it up. And so I'm right there in the back. So I didn't trust you. I made him get in the front seat and everything. And so I did. I kept just keep eyes on him. He's in the front. And so when I told the homie, like, man, this just bounced. That dude, he just turned around and he's like, man, hey, you just want to jack him? And I was like, man, like, I don't know, like right there, everyone's looking at me. And he's like, man, we'll just scare him real quick. And I was like, all right, let's do it. All right, so right when we pull up, and my wife, it's supposed to be my cousin, he's supposed to get out the car. And I seen he was nervous. Like he looked like, I could just tell he was nervous, like he didn't want to do it. So as we're pulling up, I thought, man, just wait right here, just stay right here, man. And he just looked at me, and I grabbed his banger. And so when we pull up, I opened up my door and I jumped out. And then right when I hop out, my victim, Eric Preciado, he pulls a gun out. He pulls out a shotgun and he points it and shoots. And so I just, you know what I mean, my instant reaction was I kind of sidestep and I shoot back. And then I see him go behind the door, so I shot the door. And I thought he took cover behind the door, but he was already shot. And so like I walked up, I seen him, and it was all bad, you know. And so I jumped in the car, and there was a dude that was standing right there with him. He was right there. He had took off running as soon as I got out, you know what I mean? And so when we're leaving, I seen him doing something like when we're leaving, and I fired out the car at him, and because I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know if he was going to shoot at us or what. So I shot at him just to kind of distract him, and we left. And then we got back to the hood and just got rid of everything. And I ain't gonna lie, I did think about my other co-defendant and the one I didn't trust. I did. I thought about taking his life too. And my cousin told me, nah, don't do it. It's like, man, he's not gonna say nothing. It's all right. And I just didn't trust him, you know what I mean? And I didn't know what to do. And like I said, it was a thought. And we let him leave. And then yeah, he ended up catching us all up. He told people about it, and then we all got busted little by little. The homie that owned the store that he was saying was involved with it, he jumped on the plane and he bounced. And then it's like months later.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Like I got caught months later it was on 4th of July, 2007. My drunk ass, I was walking down the road with my shirt off, and I got a banger tattooed on my waistband, and it's like realistic looking, whatever, and it has my homie Mikey, the one that I talked about earlier that had passed away. It has his name on the handle. While someone being a good Samaritan just driving, I guess they glanced and they said, "Hey, there's someone walking down the street with a gun." And so I don't remember this. I don't remember getting arrested. I was drunk. I was walking down Cross Road, and I ended up getting gang of cops came, snatched me up, and they arrested me, and then I had a warrant for murder. And so I get booked in the county jail, and then I guess that night it's like a show produced by cops. It's like American Jail. It's an old show. They were there that night, and they were like filming me, trying to get me to sign the waiver. I didn't want to sign it or nothing. And the next morning, I woke up in a single cell on PS there at the downtown jail, and I was in a red and white jumpsuit. And I stopped one of the cops. I was like, because I was all blacked out. I don't remember nothing. I don't remember being busted or nothing. I remember little glimpses, like lights. I remember the cops acting up with me, like in there in the booking. And I remember like a fuzzy thing, and I guess that fuzzy thing was the microphone. The whole time I didn't know this. I didn't know what happened for like 2 years. I didn't know how I got arrested, how I left the homie Arties or anything, because I was like, there was a bunch of things that happened on that night, like from the last thing I remember to me waking up in the county. And I remember I just woke up. I was like, damn, man, like, stopped that cop, like, hey, man, what happened, man? Why am I in here? He said, you're in here for murder. I was like, murder? I was like, bro. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, who'd you kill? I was like, I didn't kill nobody. He's like, I don't know, man. They got you for murder. And the whole time I thought they were messing with me. I was like, man, maybe I blacked out. I got all drunk and I was acting up down there, and they were just doing this to mess with me or something. And then next I know, they come and get me, and they tell me, hey, man, you're going to BMAX. You're going to the safety center. So I go to safety center, and then over there it's a 180. And they got a little 180 right there, and it's a little shoe, or what they call it. They call it a shoe. And so I go in there, and then there's only a few homies in there. And so I get put in with the homie Brewski. going with that fool. He has a colostomy bag. He tried to hoop a piece and it was too much and messed him up. So I get put in the cell with him. And then it's like there's like adversary everywhere. Active Southsiders, active white boys. There's some blacks in there for killing a homie. And so it's on with those dudes. So pretty much it was on with everybody over there except just like the other 3 cells of homies that like we don't even come around or nothing. And you come out every other day, you get an hour and 15 minutes, like they just pop your door. And so because of that, they were doing some bad stuff, man. They were setting us up and everything. They were like you had the program over there. You had to be up. Like when they come get food for court, y'all wake up and just be ready because they'll just crack your door, and they're not supposed to do it, but they would. And some were accidents, but most weren't, you know, because they got speakers right there, and they just get on the door like get on the intercom. Hey man, you ready? Like yeah, I'm ready. Well, what's up? He's like, you ready? Like yeah, I'm ready. He's like, all right. And you could hear something going on in your neighbor's cell. You could kind of hear like a muffled voice on their intercom. And then the neighbors, it's opposition, so you already know what it is. Oh man, all right, let's do it. You know what I mean? And tell Bruce, like, come on, over here, strap up real quick, and door cracks, and yeah, you got to get off over there, you know. And so we're doing that a lot. And then next thing you know, we're just stealing any little piece of metal we can get from the law library, up the mop buckets, everything. And then and then dudes were getting hurt over there, man. And that was like a messed up reality check. Like, man, like when I first got there, I was stressed out the first 3 days. And one night I'm laying right there, and I heard something like just something just loud though, and I didn't know what it was. And I told Bruce, I was like, hey, what is that? And he's like, what? I was like, noise. He's like, oh, hey, someone's making a piece. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah. And it's like, it's loud though, man. And there ain't no hums around us, so you know it's someone. It's someone who's a potential threat. So I was like, hey bro, where's ours at? He's like, we don't got one. I was like, well, why not? He's like, you want one? I was like, hell yeah, you don't hear that? He's like, all right, man, we'll strap up in the morning. I'm like, all right, man. And that's what snapped me out of it, man, was AS is like the streets and all that stuff, and whatever girlfriend I had at the time, ain't none of that matter right now, man. And he's been telling me these stories, like his door had cracked with some Southsiders, and they jumped him, and he had like scars on his back from him getting whacked and all this other stuff. And he's like, bro, it's grimy in here, bro. You gotta be ready. So I ain't gonna lie, there was a little fear right there, you know. It's a little fear. Like, I'm not gonna sit act like I'm bulletproof. I mean, because especially too when you do see it happen, they crack the doors, and these dudes are just getting off on each other, and they're just getting sliced and all that stuff, and the cops are just standing there watching, and they wait till you're out of breath, and they come in and light you up with the pepper ball gun or taser or whatever, or you know, they start getting those non-lethal shotguns, the orange ones. They start smacking you with that. So after you're over here, like, just damn near fighting for your life, when the cops come in and they give it to you. They give it to you right after. They come and whoop your ass right after. And there ain't nothing to do over there too. There was no TVs. You barely get a book, and you're just in there. You're just in there chilling. And so yeah, that made me grow up pretty fast. And I remember even when I got busted, man. Like I called Mr. B, right? He taught like the class for all the mess with opportunity class in our junior high. He's the one who used to mow his lawns and everything, man. He was like the closest thing I had to a dad, man, next to my brother-in-law's. But I remember I called him, man, and I told him, hey, I'm in jail. He's like, all right, hey, you want some money or something? Yeah, let me get like $20 so I can get my hygiene and stuff. He's like, all right. I was like, yeah, man. And he's like, okay. He's like, man, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right. And he's like, hey, what did they got you on? I was like, oh, they got me on a murder. And he's like, wait, a what? I was like, a murder. And he's like, oh, no, hun. He's like, man. He's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm all right, man. I was like, hey, if you can, just call my sister and just let her know, you know. And he's like, oh, I'll call your sister. You need anything? I was, nah, it's all right. I was, I'll just wait and see what happens. I mean, I really don't know what to do. I was, man, my cellie, he's my friend though. I was with him in Juvenile. I was like, so, I don't know. I guess I'll just kick it, you know. And like even that too, even though my papers, like there was special circumstances, and I didn't even know what that meant. And like one of the homies had to tell me, he told me, hey, bro, that's a death penalty. I was like, what the heck, for real? He's like, yeah, it's a capital case for it. He says, it's death penalty, man. So, man, it was like another layer of stress. Like, all right, so I really know what to think and everything, but Mr. B's like trying to, like,
You have 60 seconds remaining.
all crying to him about it, but he had asked me, he's like, hey, man, you want me to call your mom? I was like, nah, it's cool. I was like, he's like, you sure? I was like, well, I don't know, you think we should? He's like, well, yeah, if she's your mom, might as well call her. I was like, well, yeah, I guess call her. I was like, I don't got her number. He's like, well, I'll find it. Like I said, me and my mom weren't really talking and stuff from some of our past things. And, well, hey, it's going to hang up. I'll call back, all right?